That ain't my darn theme music.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whether it be your first time, your last time, I don't care what time, whether it's the present or the future, thank you for taking this time to be with us here tonight. I am your host, AP. You are watching Timeouts and Tangents, and I am joined by the most interesting man in the world. See, Dos Equis had to go ahead and bring out the most interesting man in the world out of retirement because this guy right here was threatening to take his crown. And I think he's already taken it because he is Mr. King Carnival himself, Mr. Morpheus, Mr. Endymion, Mr. Bacchus. You know him affectionately as Zombie Bob. I know him as Steve, my good friend. Thank you for coming on tonight. It is a pleasure to have you and share this stage with you.
AP. My heart is full, man. My heart is full. Thank you so much for having me on. We met in a live chat roundtable on Friday night. I mean, I knew you on Twitter, on the Twitter machine, but we met in the chat and everything. But before we got into the live stream chat Friday night, we were in the DMs and texting back and forth. And I told you I was going to get an AP tattoo, because I loved you so much then, and that. And then I say it about the Go team, but I'm even more serious about Timeouts and Tangents. If you're not following this guy, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Like, please. He and Lane Kiffin are tight. How in the world I got that intro? Like, I don't know if you noticed, I was looking for my wallet. I left my wallet when I came in the house, dropped the wallet, got the keys, came up back here to get on with you. And I'm like, dude, I owe you money. Do you take Venmo? Do I prefer, cash? Man, however you want for that introduction. The fact that I'm following up after that, just that intro that you have to Timeouts and Tangents is amazing. Ready to run through a brick wall. And then I'm following up the guest after Daily Joy. You got to look at my fat mug. After the
Daily Joy, man, you got some big shoes to fill tonight.
But I mean, yeah. So like, AP is connected. He is passionate. He's a fantastic person. Timeouts and Tangents. If you're not following him, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You're not doing it right.
I thank you for that, Steve. Thank you so much. And when it comes to that intro, it's funny because my wife, it's like my wife has a lot of input on everything that I do, and I take her feedback very seriously. But I literally made that intro myself. Like, I took an entire day, 8 hours, piecing it together and screen recording and clipping it. And I showed it to her, and I'm like, when you were a kid, you make something and you're real proud of it, and you go to your parents, you're like, look what I did. And they're like, that's it. That's it. Like, my wife looked at me and she was like, I like it, but it's just a lot going on. Like, I had to make certain edits and stuff to that was not the original cut. And so when I went back to it with the cut that I made just now, she was like, I still like it, but I don't like this. And I was like, you know what? That's the one I'm rolling with right now. Okay. That's what I'm gonna go with.
God bless Mrs. AP. She's interested. And she's not just pretending to be interested, and she's giving you honest feedback, whether you want it or not. So, shout out to her. One of the most important things about success in whatever one's career is, believe it or not, it's spousal support.
Absolutely.
You could be the greatest, tree surgeon, but if your significant other is like, no, you got to be home at this time, or maybe tree surgeon's not the right word, but whatever it is that you're doing, or here we are at 9:00 at night. A podcast, and you have a family at home, you have your wife at home, and maybe she's like, no, this is ridiculous. We go to bed together as a couple. Whatever it is, the most important thing about career success is spousal support. So the fact that she's in with you and AP, I'm gonna say your day job, 'cause you
Right.
do have a career, very successful during the day, and now you have this that you launch and have a ton of momentum behind you, which we're all rooting for. And the fact that she's interested, and the fact that she's, my significant other Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning, I was already awake because I was so, jazzed and pumped up from the night before when we had the roundtable that ATG put together. The first thing she said was, "How was the podcast?" And then 60 minutes later, I shut up, because I'm like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, let me tell you this. God bless my ex. She would have never asked me that question."
And it's funny, just to give you a little peek behind the curtain. My wife and I have been together off and on since I was 17 years old,
Mm,
and I was married previously. And my wife
okay.
would she knew like she was
Sure.
around for all of it,
Yeah.
but my previous wife, my ex-wife, wouldn't have had no part of this at all, none. Like it's
Right.
part of the reason why I waited so long to get to this point, to have the confidence to do it. But you're absolutely like that spousal support, and it like in a lot of videos you'll hear me say
Mm,
we, and it's
right.
because even though my wife isn't physically here,
Mhm.
she's still a part of this, and I want to make sure that she understands. Like I may be the one sitting behind the mic, I may be the one that's on the camera, but your presence is still involved,
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
can't do this, without you. And G Moose, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for recognizing it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That I slaved over that intro, y'all. Like y'all don't understand. All right. Like I was close to paying somebody on Fiverr to do that. And I was like, no, I don't want to waste no damn money.
All right, but how much would it have cost you?
Like $200.
Oh, you see, normally I'm like, I joke with you. I have 3 younger brothers, and God granted me 3 younger brothers because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So then I would call them up and I'm like, "This is what I need at the house. I'll throw a burger down your throat. I'll put steaks on the grill. But like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Right.
200, that's a little steep.
Yeah, no, like 200. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. Like I'm
Right.
gonna
Right.
sit here and waste these 8 hours today, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this rolling on my own.
Right. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know if you guys have paid attention to what's been going on lately, but something happened today. We were originally supposed to be talking all who that's, but I over the last 24, 36 hours, college football is still prevalent, and Lane Kiffin has been the story of stories since late October, and he had his first press conference today, following up, following up and closing out National Signing Day, following up this elite of elite portal classes that we will probably never see again, and one that we've never seen before. And he made a couple of key points that I want to touch on, and I want to get to the college football calendar, and of course, the heart of our episode tonight will be centered around the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints, the draft, and what they got going on there. But what were some of the things that stood out to you from that press conference today, Steve, if you had an opportunity to catch it or catch some of the cliff notes from it?
It's mind-boggling, right? Like, we talk about the culture. You've been beating the drum on the culture, and that Lane Kiffin has embraced it and realizes what it is, and like first and foremost, the realization of what it is, and then the embracing of that. And like you say, when you're speaking about you and your wife, just he wouldn't say that previous location that he the name that would not be uttered.
I love that.
But like, I know we're going to talk about a lot tonight, but like for the change that we've found ourselves in the college football landscape and the world that we now live in with the NIL and a $40 million roster and the poaching or tampering or everything, it's only going to get worse. And the calendar came out, and the calendar didn't do anyone any favors.
Right.
But I just can't help but feel on so many levels, almost every level, AP, we have the right person leading this program at this moment in time. That's the main draw that I took from everything that's been going on of late. Like, he gets it. He's embracing the challenge. He said about the recruits, I won't take no for an answer. And I'm motivated when someone tells me no. And I've been thinking, and I never put it this way, but he's motivated by those that are doubting him. He knows where he is in his career. He knows what everyone's saying and hoping that happens. You know, the old Outcast song, The Whole World, right? Loves
Right.
it when
I
you
love
can't
that
get
song.
down. I love that
I
song,
love that
AP.
song.
Whenever I get frustrated with something like that, I put that song on blast, right?
Yeah.
And just to me, that's him. Like he knows, and he's out to prove a whole lot of people wrong and validate himself and his stature in
Absolutely.
this game. Yeah, yeah.
And I think so. One of the first recordings I did, it was before, like we figured out who the quarterback was going to be, what the quarterback class was even going to be. One of the first things I came out and I said was, I don't care who you have at quarterback because you got the coach.
Right.
You got the most important piece of the puzzle. Coaching, especially in college, is more important than the position players.
Right.
Especially in this day and age with the way that the college football game is going. So in order to have that piece off the board and it to be this coach of all coaches, because 99% of other college football teams would want him as their head coach.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's at LSU.
Right.
And one of the main reasons why I wanted Lane Kiffin wasn't just because of the offensive play calling and expertise that he has. It was because of his level of evaluation that he made into assimilating a roster.
Mm-hmm.
We saw how bad evaluations can lead to poor results literally last year.
Right.
You went out last year with Brian Kelly. You had $18 million invested in a roster, the number one portal class coming into Baton Rouge, and that got you 7-6. You didn't have bad players. You had misevaluated players. You had players that didn't fit the proper schemes. You invested money into the wrong position groups, and it cost you. It didn't just cost you a season. It cost you your quarterback. It cost you your coach. It cost you your front office staff. Mm-hmm. All the people who were involved in those mismanaging of resources ended up getting blown out, and he deserved it.
Sure.
But Lane Kiffin is letting you know that evaluation outside of the resources is the most important part. Mm-hmm. Now, when you put elite evaluation with resources,
it's deadly.
That sets you up for long-term success.
Right.
So how do you think that's going to play out for him here in Baton Rouge?
I think it's fantastic because just think about, like 40 players or a little bit more in the portal, but there's only a handful of them, 5, 6, 7. I don't even think it's more than 7. It might not even be 7 that are one and done, that are 1 year guys. So like you purposely, and that you go back to the elite evaluation, you just didn't get 1 year mercenaries. I don't mean the word mercenary, but guys that only had one year left to do it before they moved on. But you purposely set yourself up, so hopefully we're not doing 40, people every year in the portal and everything, and that you can develop and you can grow, and they see enough growth on their part with this all-star staff that he has on both sides of the ball, so that it's just, okay, well now next year we just need to plug and play a couple of these guys, or we just need this depth because we know this guy's going to make the next step. So it's heady times, man. And like, I know that we have purple and gold coursing through our veins. I know we have the purple and gold glasses. I know we drink in the purple and gold Kool-Aid, but
grape Kool-Aid is my favorite flavor.
But it's heady times, man. And you've talked about the renaissance of not just football, but Kim Mulkey with the ladies basketball, Jay Johnson, the gymnastics, everything that's going on. Hopefully, there are those. I know my brother Daniel over at the Go team is pulling for Will Wade to come back and be the basketball coach, but they got to get that fixed somehow, some way. And then like, oh my gosh, can you imagine the entertainment value just if you have Kim and Jay and Wade and
I think I would move to Baton Rouge.
Like it's just it's not just LSU football, and it's just that alignment from the top all the way of the top of the state all the way down. It's giddy stuff, man. I don't mean to be,
absolutely giddy, and then he gets it. You know, like
Yes.
it's not that oh, I'm just here to get a check and to give out checks. I love what he said when he said, you know, like my views on how he views how he's paying his players and the staff. Like we're not paying you for what you did last season.
Right.
We're paying you for what you're supposed to do this month.
Right. This
And
month.
not just this month, but this week, today.
Right.
I don't care what your salary is. The best players are going to play.
Right.
I don't care how you coached
Right.
last year. The best coaches are going to be on this staff.
Right.
And if you want to keep getting rewarded the way that you are, there's only one way that you do that, and that's on the field. And that's exactly what he was getting at. You have to earn your keep. You
Right.
have to eat what you kill. You got to be hunters.
Right. And what a refreshing change. You know, not to knock, the easiest example is Western Davis, and not to knock the gentleman or anything like that. He's infinitely more talented than I could ever imagine to be. Right.
Right.
But he was the easiest one to look at, and you know, he's got a lot of potential and he's going to be good. And he's the highest paid, you know, offensive lineman we have right there. And okay, fine. And we talked last night, Malachi Dupree back in 16.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
He would drop everything.
wouldn't leave the
And
field.
Les Miles would never bench him. And then Les got fired after the debacle at Auburn. And then I'm pretty sure they had a bye week. And then it was the home game against Missouri. Russell Gage. And Russell Gage catching everything. And everybody's like, well, where's this guy been? But all the players that were asked that question, like, oh, he does that all the time in practice. But we never saw that because they were married to Malachi Dupree for whatever reason. So, like, how refreshing is it that, okay, I don't care how much I paid my left tackle. If he's not him, then somebody else is going to be him. And we're not going to go down just because I have money, you know, the Sulkin fallacy, you know, money spent, you know, okay, so what? I have all this money. Well, you're losing your ass, and your quarterback got destroyed because he got around the left tackle. And I'm not picking on him, Seaton at left tackle, the presumptive, you know, starter right there. But just it's AP, man. It's just,
man, it's so good, man. And
right,
Moose, you bring up a good point. We need to give Verge credit to dude went out and got the best coach in the nation. And you're absolutely right. I mean, none of this would be happening right now if it wouldn't have been for Verge. And it goes into what I was going to get to next. One, Lane is fully aware of the expectations and the pressure that he's under. He gets it, but he knows exactly how to build a team.
Mm-hmm.
And he also understands that, yeah, we got all these good players in here. Now I got to break them down,
right?
Make them come together. Because if they don't come together, if I don't humble them, what's the point in spending all this money and going out here and having all these resources and putting this together? But you can't do that with just money. You have to have alignment, and it has to be at the top. Right. And you saw it from the governor. We talked about this on your show Sunday.
Sure.
You saw it from the governor to the president to the chancellor, down to the coach, to the AD, and now the community is rallying around it. But now you're starting to see that coaching staff get on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
They shared a clip of Lane and the staff playing baseball the other day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, were happy about it. You know, like saying Lane. I even shared it, and I added Coach Jay Johnson, like, hey, you got another bat for Friday night. You know, I want to make that happen.
Right,
you know?
right.
But what got overlooked was the staff was hanging out together and enjoying the time.
Right. Have we seen that before?
We haven't seen that.
Not to say it doesn't happen or hadn't happened, but we've never seen it.
We haven't been privy to that.
Right.
And most of the time it's this coaching staff is off over here, that coaching staff is off over there. And you're starting to see the staff embody Lane's mentality, even with how they approach social media. You got defensive coaches sending out tiger emojis. You got offensive line and position coaches sending out tiger emojis when they get recruits getting ready to commit. So you're seeing them build that bond. that's how you truly build a bond across the team. If you want the team to come together, you got to have the staff coming together.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you can speak to it because you're in so many different parades. What is it like if your float's not on the same page?
It's funny that you ask me that one though, AP. I get in such a zone sometimes. Like I always ride in Endymion with next to my brother Rocky. And of course, you and I have talked off air about that next year. Hopefully, you're on the float next to me.
Ain't no
on my
hopefully.
outside.
No.
So then,
Right,
right, because you and your wife are in alignment with that,
right?
And you both want that to happen. But sometimes it's you just get in a zone, and it doesn't really matter who's next to you, who's not. But I will tell you, I have a very good friend in a club in a crew, and that entire driver's side of his float did something that they weren't supposed to do in an area they weren't supposed to do, and the ramifications were brutal. Like all the float lieutenants were dismissed from the organization. That entire side was suspended for a year. So it goes back to what you're saying. I love riding, and sometimes I do get in the zone. But if you're not on the same page, if you're not monitoring what's going on around you, it could be catastrophic. So I agree that it's best that not to say that Les Miles didn't have these kind of. Do you remember the Harlem Shake? Was it the Harlem Shake?
Yeah.
But and that Les Miles was doing a big cat drill, and then whoa, time out, and then he broke out into that. Like Les Miles was such a fucking character.
Yes,
but but who knows if they were doing, his staff was doing anything like that, or if they were all pulling in the same direction, or if they were just individualistic. We don't know, but at least go ahead.
No, it's one thing to share those bonds and develop those bonds over the practice field, but it's another thing to build those bonds within your own personal time. To take that time, take that effort, and to go out on your own and make sure that y'all are actually doing stuff outside of your primary job.
Right.
I own and operate restaurants. I've been in a restaurant game for my entire adult life, and a lot of times you see the most success you see in environments like that when the teams are together, when the teams are like a family. Sure. When you go out and you're hanging out outside of work, where work is actually like a second home. It's your second family. It makes it that much easier. You're that much passionate to go to work. And anytime I hire someone and I tell them, I say, look, my goal, my job is to make sure that the atmosphere that you're walking into is just as comfortable for you here as it is at your own home.
Right.
Because if you're going to be here longer than you're actually going to sleep in your bed, you deserve for this place to be comfortable like your bed.
Right.
Plain and simple.
No, absolutely. That's
excellent. So no, you're absolutely right. Hey, Chip, thank you, man. I appreciate you for being in the comments tonight, man. Y'all had a great y'all had a great show earlier. Definitely, man. Chip also said the NCAA has officially denied Trinidad Chambliss. Now the Mississippi courts will handle it. They definitely did. That news broke while you guys were live earlier, Chip. And that's just a step, and that's just the next procedural step. Like everybody knew that was going to happen. G Moose commented unity, like I said on Sunday night. It is absolutely full of unity. And Lane hinted at that. I dropped a video on Twitter just before we went live. Y'all check that out after the show. Highlighting, like those comments that Lane made in the presser, and like the tweet that he reposted that I sent out, because it's all in alignment with what he's feeling, the excitement, the buzz that's going around. And it's important that this is happening at this moment. The only bad thing about it is that the college football calendar can't get itself out the way. And it sucks. And I texted you and Daniel last night. I got a theory. I have a theory. Do you actually think the NCAA will change this calendar?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I don't either. And I'm going to tell you why. When you look at the NFL has done a great job of making football a 12-month event.
Right.
Not a single month goes by without pro football having something being done.
Right. Right.
College football didn't have that advantage because of how the calendar originally laid out.
Mm-hmm.
By the time January 1st came around, the second week of January, it was dead because the
Mm-hmm.
national champion will be crowned. You go silent up until spring.
Sure.
You have the national signing day on the first Wednesday, the first Wednesday in February, and then it was crickets. Well, then you get into the portal season. You add the early signing period in December. You add a portal window, and now you're adding things to the calendar that's keeping college football at the front of the news cycle.
Right.
It's gotten so prominent now to where most news cycles are starting to overshadow NFL news.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this year, case in point, for instance, I think this is the biggest and most headline news college football has ever had, with our head coach being at the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're looking at this calendar and we're saying, oh, it's a problem, it needs to get fixed. Yes, it obviously does need to get fixed. But like they always tell you in business, not all press, even if it's bad,
right,
is truly bad press.
Right.
It's keeping you in the news.
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel that when you look at this calendar?
Oh, absolutely. Well, right. And you and I talked, and again, I appreciate the introduction. And even when we talked before the roundtable Friday night, I told you that in a previous life we lived in England, and before COVID, we did a lot of traveling. And
Right.
There's a Salvador Dali museum in Bruges, Belgium, and we were there. We went for the Christmas markets, and this is probably like December of 18. And in the museum, there's a quote by Salvador Dali, and it says, "It matters not what they say about me. It just matters that they're talking about me." And I always laughed at that. And I always remember that when AP, because it's exactly right. There's no such thing as bad press these days. So it's like, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Indiana won the national championship. That game seems like forever ago. But it's still LSU. It's still Lane Kiffin at the forefront. And then even when the fake news media ran the report about LSU was being investigated by the CSC, they had the LSU helmet, behind a paywall, the article was, but there's the LSU helmet for football, insinuating that the LSU football program was in trouble. And then, of course, it turned out that wasn't true. And then it turned out that LSU did the paperwork that needed to be done, and there's no harm, no foul. But yeah, no, it's all about the money. And I go back to what we're saying about Lane Kiffin. I've shared with you, and we've talked about it on the podcast. My significant other is not just an accountant, but a very conservative accountant, and she just cannot comprehend the money. Like when we were chasing Seaton for the left tackle, I'm like, oh my God, like $3, $4, $5 million, and she, that's ridiculous. Bless her heart, right? But I'm like, you don't understand how much money is involved with all of this. Does the calendar make sense? No. No way, shape, or no how. It doesn't. But it's always follow the dollar. I always tell my two kids two things: the person with the most documentation wins, and the second thing is always follow the money. So now the national championship is going to be January 25th, 2027.
4 days after most colleges have their final drop date.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like make it make sense. But it doesn't make common sense. It makes dollars and cents.
It makes dollars and cents.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what it boils down to. Like if college football truly wanted to get the calendar together, they would need every university to kind of get on the same page. And it's not, realistically, it's not that hard of a fix.
Right.
You eliminate the week 0 stuff. You start everything up that week. Week 0 is then essentially week 1.
Right.
You eliminate conference championship week, and then your playoffs roll.
Boom. Right. But now there's like 2-week gap between between the quarter and the semis?
Yes.
Yeah. And then a 10-day gap between the semis and the national.
Yeah.
Now look, I fully expect us to be, I'm saying us, LSU, to be at least in the semifinals. So I'm like, oh, and AP, this is how twisted I am right now with drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm like, oh, well, 2 weeks off. That'd be great for Lane and get everybody healthy again.
Right.
And get them going again and let Lane Kiffin on one side and Blake Baker on the other side scheme for 2 weeks. I'm good.
I like that.
Yeah. But only because we're drinking the LSU Kool-Aid.
Right.
So like, but if I'm, Auburn, or if I'm, whomever, it's like this, the schedule is absolutely terrible. But just back to, I think college football has changed so much and it's still ever changing. But I think we so have the right person and the alignment, like you said, from the top to the bottom and eyes wide open.
And I think another thing too, if we take advantage of how dead National Signing Day is. I shared a post early this morning, like which one would you rather? Would you rather fix the calendar or would you rather bring back the Bayou Bash and have National Signing Day be a big thing? Honestly, I'm going to tell you all the truth. That was a trick question because I think if you eliminate this early signing window and just high school recruiting to the National Signing Day, it changes everything. And make National Signing Day your one portal too. Make it all just happen. Make it all culminate on just that day.
Right.
Find a waiver, an athletic academic exception waiver for football players to be able to enroll at the first Wednesday in February, 10 days after the last drop ad date. That gives the national champion team at least 2 weeks to settle in, get adjusted, and move on from where they are since you're going to play the game on basically the 30th anyway. Right. So that may be the best shot that they have to kind of organize all of this mess. But like you said, financially, you are in it. Right. Because it's going to be in it.
2 week different, time gap between the quarters and the semis. All right. How many podcasts are we going to do that time? How many podcasts nationwide, worldwide are going to be devoted to those 4 teams in the semifinals?
Right.
It's just follow the money, man. It doesn't make sense, but follow the money.
This is going to feed families. G-Moo said, I think the SEC and maybe Big Ten are going to move away from NCAA in the next few years. That's something Matt Moscone has been preaching for a long time. That the Power 4 teams just kind of break off and create their own thing. And I think we're kind of headed down that path, but we're also seeing, too, the challenges with that because they can't get together on adding 4 more teams to the playoffs right now. Right. So until they start getting their communication, their true goals in line, they're not going to get there. I mean, there are a lot of challenges to do that. And honestly, I think all of football, period, needs to break away from college. Because football is its own business in college athletics. Right. And we had a discussion in the roundtable about how, if let's say that there's a player that goes to the draft and tries to come back to to college.
Buddha.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, you see the NFL is saying, that they want to step up and help organize college football. And that was my point. The NFL knows where its feeder system comes from. Right. They're not going to let someone ruin that. Right. And they're seeing right now, like, this can get ugly and get a little bit out of hand. So, and Lane himself pointed to it today, and Chip even said it on the stream earlier. Like, he took a shot at the NCAA. It was a backhanded shot. But he said, I'm looking to the NFL and how they are doing things since we basically have that here. Right. So the NFL is noticing y'all are operating like us. Coaches are finally starting to realize, hey, we're operating like NFL teams. College football needs to realize that, hey, we're operating like a professional organization. And it's time for us to grow up and get things together.
No, absolutely.
G-Moo says NCAA is way too antiquated for today, and you're absolutely right. It is. I mean, they're still using fax machines.
National Signing Day, right?
Right. Still using
Who has a fax machine?
So, like, I mean, the NCAA sucks, but I don't think that they suck as much as the Pelicans suck.
What a segue! Go ahead.
The Pels are absolute garbage.
Right.
You mean to tell me we have a 13-win team who doesn't make a trade on the trade deadline?
But why?
Who had-
What is their belief?
That they have a playoff roster. You got 13 wins and you
Right.
believe this is a playoff roster?
Right.
Where?
Exactly.
What? What do you?
All right, but AP, but at least the second worst record in the NBA, correct?
I know where you're going.
But at least they have a high draft choice coming to them in the draft.
They sold that. They throw that away.
But not an unprotected one. I mean, only if it was. I mean, they have one that's protected, right? Because they have the
They're
second worst.
stupid.
But why? Why are they stupid?
Oh, I'll tell you, because they don't care. They don't care.
But how do they?
I know why. So Gail Benson, and nobody wants to put her name on this. I'm going to put her name on this. Yes, I love Gail Benson as a person.
Sure.
She's an amazing contributor to our community. She's a beacon of what is right in the world and in New Orleans. You can put her on a pedestal for all of what human society should look like and how we should give back if we have the opportunity to do so. What she should not be is the owner of professional sports organizations. She should not be that. Good human, yes. Does she suck at her job? Absolutely, yes. Both things can be true. Why does Gail suck at her job? Because Gail did not build this empire. Right. She inherited it.
Right.
She is not made to lead this. And you can tell. Do I think she tried? Yes. And I will also say that she was a casualty of her own success early on. Hear me out.
Okay.
At the time Benson passed, the first major decision that Gail had to do was hire her first GM of basketball operations. That was Mickey Loomis.
No, you said basketball.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Mickey Loomis. Of course, she went with that move because she needed comfort. She didn't know what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
In the process of her doing that, she realized, oh, crap, I'm hurting the actual moneymaker next door.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to go back over there. Let me go get someone who can actually run NBA stuff. The expectation then was not for the team to be good or show promise that fast. Well, what do you know? The Pelicans dumb lucked themselves into a young team with a young up-and-coming head coach and found their way in to the playoff, the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
Beat two teams that really should have been in the playoff and then took 2 games off of the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
What did that set them up for? Expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gail, for the first time in being an owner, has to deal with making big girl decisions. Wasn't ready for it. Keep things as they are. And oh, did they keep things as they were. So much so to where the arena still looks like it just opened in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
She is not built for this. And she's not even built to lead the Saints, which is dumb lucking their way into relevance again.
Right. Right.
Mickey Loomis is past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, his prime is in Denver.
Right. Right. But we're going to talk about the Saints. But don't you think Loomis, and this is wishful thinking, don't you think Loomis sees it? And it's like, okay, if I can have Sean Payton and Drew Brees on the front end, and then I have Kellen Moore and Chuck on the back end. Okay, I'm done. Let me step up into some newly created role as executor of, one of the executors of her estate, and let somebody like my old man used to always say, football is a young man's game. It looks like we've lucked into Kellen Moore. This team loves him. He must be just a football nerd, but this team loves him. And they lucked into Tyler Shuck at the 40th spot in the second round of the draft. But go back to the Pelicans. So is there hope? Maybe, you could see, but nobody's going to force him. She's not going to force him. Right. I didn't even see the comment before you. Right. He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. And that's exactly why she decided to go with him to run an NBA franchise.
Right.
Like, you got people who are completely inept and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They are complacent on Airline Drive.
Right.
And they know damn well if Tom Benson, Brother Martin alum,
Oh yeah,
would be here today
with Richard.
So I'm gonna tell you, I knew you were gonna bring that up. I'm prepared for that.
This is our first. Well, no, this is our third time on camera together, and you know where I'm coming from.
Being that we, the established Brother Martin Crusaders, being that we are still around, we get to choose which alumni we get to claim from Corey. We get to claim Tom Benson.
Right. Not
Richard. Right? That is ours.
Okay.
The other guy that you're going to mention, he graduated from Korezu. All right. There's a line.
There's a line.
There's a line.
Daniel doesn't know it, but there's a line.
There's a line.
Right.
So they're comfortable on Airline Highway especially when it comes to the Pelicans. They're not getting up enough fan support. They're not doing things to engage the fans, to entice them to want to come to games and support a hapless team.
Right.
You have, for instance, look, perfect example. The Memphis Grizzlies drafted Ja Morant, second overall behind Zion Williamson. And I think you can say, looking back at that draft, those two picks were supposed to be the faces of the league. They are the faces for draft bust for the league. They have both been in the league now 7 years and have not accomplished anything.
Right.
Ja, though, has accomplished at least a little bit more than Zion. Memphis is having a pure on fire sale. They're blowing it up and even making Ja Morant available. And they're trying to give you Ja Morant,
right?
Basically. And the Pelicans are like, nah, that's a little bit too much work.
Right. But what's the point? And look, we agree. She didn't build it. She has it. She's got all this money. God bless her. Her guys are her guys, and they're not going anywhere. But how does no one see? No one. There's nobody going to this stadium to watch this team because we have talented players, but it's not translating, and we've got 13 wins. If one of your stores isn't performing, are you going to just continue to let it not perform?
I'm flipping the entire staff.
Right.
Top to bottom.
Right. And not 8 years later or whatever it's been. Yeah.
Y'all have to, y'all are comfortable. And I start with my approach is this. Once the staff gets comfortable, I start with the biggest person in there. The person that they think is not, going, the person that's showing the most complacency.
Right.
Hey, you got to go because then it's going to wake everybody up.
Absolutely. Right.
So
the
world knew that I'm losing his name. The previous GM for the Pelicans, they knew he had to go. David Griffin.
Oh yeah.
The world knew David Griffin was past his time. But you go out and you hire Joe Dumars.
Right. Well, after an exhaustive interview search.
So exhausted that they just made one phone call to Joe Dumars and said, hey, you want to make more money and do less work?
Right. One call. That's all. I mean, you should have Morris Bard as one of your sponsors.
Literally. Right. They probably didn't even call it. They probably just clicked it.
Right.
One click, that's it.
Yeah.
So That like it's so lazy, and we can go ahead and get into the Saints stuff now because I want to spend a good bit of time on the who that's. And like you said, we've dumb lucked ourselves into potential. I think we have a really good head coach. I truly do.
You said earlier about Lane Kiffin and his staff, and you used the term elite evaluators. But Kellen Moore was in on Shuck at the Senior Bowl a year ago. Yeah, so he's like, I like this guy. Now, of course, Jackson Dart as well, but he kept saying, or it kept being said that he really was in on Tyler Shuck. So maybe, like you said, Kellen Moore, elite evaluator as well. And are we that fortunate in Southern Louisiana that we have one in Baton Rouge and perhaps one in New Orleans?
I mean, look at it from this perspective. You see the Philadelphia Eagles go on to win a Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
You take their offensive coach, their offensive coordinator, their play caller, who was only there for a season.
Yeah.
You take him out the mix, and they're firing their offensive coordinator midway through the season.
Right.
I think
they didn't have a big turnover on the roster.
No.
Same offense.
Not
a lot of injuries, to keep
right.
players. Yeah.
I think we have the guy. Right. I mean, because look, at first I was a little nervous. I was, honestly. But at the same time, I got excited when I saw how he was utilizing Spencer Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing to his strengths.
Right.
And
progress that he made in his development.
Yes. He made so many strides,
sure,
from last season to this season. I know he was a rookie, but if you look at Shuck from start one versus the Rams to the end of the year against the Panthers, like it's two completely different games.
Right.
It's two completely, to the end of the year against the Falcons. That's two completely different quarterbacks.
Right.
And honestly, I kind of like the matchup with Shuck versus the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like our offensive line.
Right. That last year's iteration of that, right. Because that's a lot of work to be done. All right, we're going to jump to the draft, and we're going to come back to what you're saying. I don't want to. How much are you going to lose your mind if at number 8 they draft an offensive tackle to put at right tackle and kick Tallahassee into guard? All right, we'll come back to that. Go back to what you were saying about Kellen Moore, the evaluation of Shuck, the development of Rattler and Shuck. Are you keeping? Now I'm going to put you on the seat as the GM. Are you keeping Rattler or are you trading him?
Here's where I am with Spencer. I want to see Spencer play. I think the team wants to see Spencer play. I think Spencer can be a starting quarterback in this league, but what teams really need a quarterback right now outside of the Raiders and the Cardinals, maybe?
The Cardinals. That's
and they're both drafting at the top of the draft.
Right.
So what are you truly expecting to get out of the trade?
It can't be a fifth.
Right.
It's got to be a fourth. Are you
going
to get a third?
Are you going to get a third? If you get a third, you got to go.
Absolutely. God bless you. We're rooting for you. Right.
So how much do you value that 4th round pick then? That's what it boils down to. Because your last few 4th round picks have not really panned out outside of this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nick Saldiveri was a 4th round pick.
They traded up to the top of the 4th to grab
to
him.
Get him.
Right.
So if you're doing that, do you really want to trade Spencer Rattler for Nick Saldiveri?
No. But we have a different regime. So why did we hit on it? Why did we have this? Why did we have the success we had with last year's draft class? Is it a different set of eyes? Is it Kellen Moore and his staff? I think
Kellen Moore and his staff had a little bit more input on this draft class because you haven't had even with Sean, like in Sean's last few years, his draft class has started missing, and it's because they were looking for a different response. They were looking for guys that can come in right away,
Mhm.
right? Instead of building depth. And that was another thing that Lane talked about too, was building depth and how depth makes you better. And it's one of the things that LSU missed on. The Saints were missing depth. And you can see now that now in this day, in 2026, the depletion of depth over the years from missing on the draft so often has left you to where you are drafting number 8 overall.
Right.
Do I have faith that this team can hit on 2 drafts, two necessary rebuilding drafts in a row? I should not. Because
you shouldn't. None of us should.
Right.
But you
Because
do.
they no, I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't. And I'm gonna so I want to. I have a want to. I have a desire.
Right.
I want to. I'm giving them grace. I'm not giving credit. I'm giving grace.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving grace.
Okay.
I'm not going to nail them. And we could go ahead and get into this because we're talking about the draft now anyway. I'm not going to nail them down for any picks that they make this season until I see next season play out.
Okay.
Because my dude Moose said it.
You
gotta draft Love, right?
You gotta, right?
You gotta draft Love. Why? Why do I have to draft? Why do I have to draft the running back?
He takes pressure off of Shuck, but look what Kellen Moore's already done with the quarterback and the stud running back.
So we're pushing out Alvin Kamara?
No. We're not
then
pushing
who's
him
getting
out.
the ball?
Well, it's Love first and foremost.
Pushing out Alvin Kamara.
From that primary role, he's not your RB1 on a down and down anymore at this age.
If he's not my RB1, why can't I draft a running back in the 3rd round?
Because he's at the end of his run, AK.
What about the 2 running backs that are coming out of Penn State?
They have both of them. Well, there's 2 running backs coming out of Indiana. There's a kid at Washington. There's a kid at Arkansas.
Okay. Can you get a Mansour Delane in the 3rd round?
Hell no.
Can you get
I like the guy. I like the guy from A&M. Is Neal from A&M or is Neal the cornerback from Arkansas?
I think it's
Arkansas. But do you like Pons, the little guy?
I love Isaiah Pons, but I like Isaiah Pons later.
Oh, yeah. He can't be at 8.
Yeah.
But he's 5. Who's taller, Diego or Pons? They're both like 5'9".
I think
right?
they both like 5'9". I think it's a fight. It's definitely a fight. It's definitely a fight. But no, look, Moose, I want you to understand something. I'm not saying that he's not a different talent. I looked this up earlier. Let me pull it up again real quick. But if you think about this, there's only been 7 running backs in the last 15 years drafted in the top 10.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Even crazier, only one of them has gotten to a second contract with the team that drafted them.
That originally drafted him. Okay.
Why are we drafting a running back in the top 10?
Okay. All right. But then I remember the draft, and I love the draft. I love everything that leads up to the draft. When I can't remember who it was, I correctly called back in the day the Saints selecting Deuce McAllister in the 20s. Well, once he got past like 6 or 7 or 8, I forget who it was. Like, I'm just saying Kansas City. But if it was Kansas City, he was supposed to go at that spot, and he didn't. I called Daniel and my dad. I'm like, the Saints are going to grab him. They were in the 20s. I don't remember what position he was drafted. So can you exist with Love and AK? Absolutely. Is your point about the NFL doesn't value running backs like they did when I was growing up, and I'm older than you are? Are there enough serviceable running backs, A, perhaps on the roster, B, in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, that an offensive genius like Kellen Moore can utilize?
Thank you.
Yeah. No. I don't disagree.
I'm looking at this like, all right, if we're drafting in the top 10, you don't often get the opportunity to draft in the top 10. So you cannot miss. It's not just a day one. It's not just a day one starter. This is a franchise player. This is a guy who should be here 8 to 10 years.
Right.
We got 8 to 10 years out of Alvin almost,
Mm-hmm.
right?
In the third round.
He was a third-round pick.
What was
Third-round running
Olave?
back.
11 or 12?
Olave was 12.
Okay. And we hit on him, and we're hoping that he gets the contract extension and
he
reworks.
will. So
Penning at 19 hurt, but it's not a top 10 pick.
Let me read these running backs off to you.
Okay.
From 2011 to 2025.
Okay.
Trent Richardson, 3rd.
Alabama.
Todd Gurley, 10th.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott, 4th.
Remember when he showed up at the draft and that little halter top thing? Man, look, if I had abs like that, sure. But
if you got it, flaunt it, right?
Maybe.
For Christian McCaffrey, 8th.
Okay.
Leonard Fournette, 4th.
Sure.
Saquon, 2nd. And Bijan, 8th.
Okay.
So all of these running backs, Ezekiel is the only one to get a contract with the team that drafted him. Mm-hmm. And then that didn't last long.
Right.
So if the data is telling me running backs who are drafted in the top 10 over that long of a period of time,
okay,
don't make it with the team that draft them, I don't want to waste that pick on them.
All right. So who's your pick?
Give me Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
Give me Jordan Tyson. I need that receiver that's going to tilt the field. Olave is not that get up and get it contested catch receiver. He's just not.
Right.
He makes great plays because he's a great route runner.
Mm-hmm.
He will make challenging catches along the sideline. He will come up with balls if it's in his vicinity. Pause. I know. I'm sorry. He will come up with clutch catches if it's in his vicinity to catch. If you need a play to be made and he is covered, he ain't coming down with it.
Right. If you took the label of QB, not QB1, but wide receiver 1 off of Olave, he's an excellent player.
He's an excellent player.
He's had so many drops this year and all season long. It's like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? I was so upset when he missed that last game. He would have been, think about this, the first wide receiver for the Saints who had Drew Brees for all those years, 100 receptions, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. And at the end of it, you look and say, wait, Olave put up those numbers? No, he dropped that pass. And
yep.
But then, like, holy shit, you look at the totality of the season and you take a step back. It's like, he's him. Like, sign the son of a bitch. He deserves it. He deserves every freaking penny he's got coming to him. So if you took that label off of him, damn straight, he's worth every freaking penny.
Absolutely. I mean,
Juwan Johnson, look at the year he had when you step back from him, and take a look at it. He had a fantastic year. He was a top 10 tight end in the league, and it's like, and to his credit, he said, hey, there are things that I need to refocus on and rededicate myself to. Perhaps his roommate way back 100 years, who's now his quarterback,
rookie quarterback,
right? But all right, but Tyson over Tate out of Ohio State,
because if you're going with Carnell Tate, you're getting the same Chris Olave. Like you're getting virtually the same.
You already have that guy.
If I'm not going Jordan Tyson, I can see Malachi Lemon, but he's got a little bit of question marks.
Yeah.
So if I'm Mickey, if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm pounding the table for Jordan Tyson if he's available at 8. Because, brother, that dude can ball.
Mm-hmm.
That dude can absolutely ball. And him and Sam Levitt, the things that they were able to do together was silly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put him with a guy like Shuck, where are we missing out on his talent? Like he's transitioning from a quarterback that that played like his similar style of quarterback play. Right. So why not? I understand that there's some trepidation behind the injury history that he may have had. Cool. Sure. Marshawn Lattimore had questions around his injury history, and those hamstrings weren't that much of an issue once he got into the league,
right?
And were able to nurse those things out. Yeah. Even my boy Rat-a-tat that Yeah, I was able to read that. Yeah. Just give me a wide receiver at top 10. Love ain't Bush. And even Reggie Bush, to your point, sir, did not get a second contract with the New Orleans Saints.
With Sean Payton as his head coach. Right.
So, so let me tell you, let me say this. If the Saints went to the podium and announced Jeremiah Love as a pick at 8, would I be mad? No, not in that moment. I need to see how the rest of the draft plays out. Because if we get Jeremiah Love and then let's say we draft an Elijah Surratt,
I like Surratt.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. And then let's say you pick up the guard from Auburn in the 3rd round, or the guard from Georgia Tech. I forgot his name.
I can't think of Rutledge or something like that.
Keelan Rutledge.
Yeah.
If you pick up one of those two in the 3rd round, okay, I'm starting to believe. And then you find you some depth at corner, linebacker, edge, D-line.
You know who I like, AP? You know the tight end out of Houston, Tanner Kozel or whatever? He was number 9 when LSU. He's there in the 6th round, 5th round, 6th round. He's 6'7". Yeah. I like him late in the draft. So like like you said, if you had a guard, if you had a running back, if you had the wide receiver, some defensive depth, and you pick up a tight end like that to pair him up with Juwan Johnson, like because Foster's a free agent.
Yes.
Taysom Hill's not coming back. God bless him. Put him in the Ring of Honor for the Saints, but yeah, exactly. All right, but wait. Who's your QB2 in the draft overall? Is Fernando your QB1?
So, I mean, Fernando's got to be QB1. Do I think that Fernando's a benefit of this QB class as being what it is. He's coming out at the right time. In all honesty, I don't think he was really an elite Heisman winner.
Right.
When you stack him up against
33 touchdowns.
Yeah, like barely 3,000 yards
in a 16-game
season.
Right.
Like he was a great morale guy, a great leader, very smart, but
sure.
Do I think he you know what Fernando Mendoza is? And I thought about this during the playoff run. He is Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
He's Kirk Cousins.
Right.
He's a guy that I can see that's going to be around the league for 15 years. A highly efficient, proficient quarterback, but will he be the difference maker on a team? Right. See, I put quarterbacks into this category. You're either a truck or a trailer. Fernando Mendoza is definitely a trailer.
Right.
He's a trailer. So he needs a team to pull him.
Okay.
He cannot. Tyler Shuck showed you he's a truck.
After 8 starts.
Did you see what he did against Atlanta? He was throwing to insurance salesmen. And I mean dots. I thought I was dyslexic and the 6 was actually a 9.
Right.
And I traveled through time.
But Drew Brees, his first year that he threw for 5,000 yards, did not have a 1,000-yard receiver. Colston was hurt most of the season. Yes. His first year. So that same thing. I'm like, he's putting the ball right there.
And
these guys,
these were not wide open. Guys are blowing coverages type of throws. I mean, he's running off platform, putting the right touch on the ball, dropping in the basket.
A touchdown.
Like in the back corner of the end zone.
Right. Who caught that? I can't even think of his name.
You're not supposed to. That's my point. That's exactly. You're proving my point in the moment. Like, that's my point.
100%.
You know the name of the person who threw the ball because he's a truck.
Right. There you go.
He's a truck.
Right.
Like, we got a quarterback. And look, am I saying that Tyler Shuck is going to be the franchise quarterback for 10 years? No, but he's going to be the quarterback for the next 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And that has given us the most amount of hope we've had since Drew Brees walked off depressingly in that COVID season playoff game
Right.
where what was the tight end's name who fumbled the ball? I forced his name out of my mind.
Cook, right? No, not Brandon Cooks.
No,
Yeah, it was Cook, right?
It's a Cook. It starts
Jared
with a
Cook,
J.
Gerald Cook, something like that.
I can't think, and I don't want to remember it. But
All right,
he
somebody
fumbled
in the
away
chat.
that playoff game.
What was his name? Or actually, go back up. Daniel doesn't. Jared Cook. Yeah. Oh, actually,
Jared
David.
David.
David was in the
David.
round table the other night, Friday night.
Yep.
So I wanted to give him a shout out. I'm glad he popped in. But yeah, Jared Cook. If
Jared
he doesn't fumble that ball, they win that game against Tampa Bay.
They win the game.
Right.
He ruined our GOATs last season.
Right.
He ruined it.
Right.
So
the momentum totally changed on that fumble.
Right. But back to what I was saying. I thought the 6 was a 9 the way that the kid was playing. And I haven't had that much hope since Drew Brees retired.
Right.
And I'm actually looking forward not just to the season, but to see what we do in this draft. And Moose asked a good question. If they don't go wide receiver at 8, what do you think they're picking? Something stupid, because that's what Mickey Loomis likes to do. What do you
I gotta tell you, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you're extending grace, not credit. But I get it. I get it. If I said, my dad always said, football was a young man's game, and Mickey Loomis is there for 26 years now with no expiration date in sight.
At all.
But I actually QB2. I thought that Dante Moore made a great choice to go back to college for one more year. I don't think he was ready, but him deciding to go back really kind of sort of messed up the Saints, because he would have gone somewhere above 8. Somebody would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then with him gone, well, if he would have come out and declared for the draft, well, then you have only 6 players that are going to be off your board that aren't quarterbacks. At 8. So then with him gone now, you're missing one. But I don't know, man. I mean, what do you think about Bain? Are his 31-inch arms too short? Falk out of Auburn with the defensive end, Bailey out of Texas Tech, the linebacker from Ohio. I mean, Ohio State's going to have like 3 guys going to top 6 or 7. But the linebacker, Caleb Downs. Go ahead.
Can I tell you my pipe dream?
Please.
If we're not going wide receiver at 8, and Mickey likes to get aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna get aggressive and go after whomever, trade up and go get Arvell Reese.
Okay.
Trade up.
What are you giving up for it though? Next year's one?
No, I'm not giving up a 1. I'm not giving up a 1. I'll give you up a third. I'll give you my 8 and a 3. To go up to 5. Like you're losing 3 spots.
Okay.
And I'll throw you in like the extra 4th round pick that we're getting for a comp pick for this year. I'll give you that, and next year's 3. An 8, a 4th, and next year's 3 to go up 3 spots.
Okay.
And go get Arvell Reese.
Okay. All right. Are they going to re-sign DeMario?
Did you hear him on
Kay Adams?
No, on Matt Moscona today.
What? No, more recent? What?
Matt Moscona had him on today on Radio Row.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. What did he say?
So basically, this is about money.
Ooh. He's played for under market the last couple of years for bad teams, bad coaches.
This is going to be about money. I think the Saints would be absolutely stupid if they don't resign him.
Mm-hmm.
He is your Drew Brees.
Absolutely.
You have to bring him back.
Right.
And you got to make it work because your defense needs him right now. You can't afford to have to replace him.
Even with Sutsman on the roster?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, you're losing too much too soon because you're gonna be looking for Shuck to take a next step in leadership role already as it is.
Right.
But do you really want him to be the solo face of the franchise right now while you're trying to build around him?
No, but it's more likely that Cam stays than it is that DeMario stays. Would you agree?
Great. Thank you, Cam. You had 10 sacks this season. I truly appreciate it. I still want DeMario Davis. DeMario
Right. But what
Davis
I'm
had
saying is that I'm not saying that Cam is the total leader that DeMario is, but he's not that
I'm
far
not even
off.
talking about leadership at that point. I'm talking about overall production. DeMario Davis just finished the season with 110
career
tackles.
high. A career
Like,
high.
like
But I
at
mean,
37
27.
years,
No. Oh, he's 37. I thought he was 27.
no, no. He's almost 40.
Right?
Brothers up here with us.
Yeah, us 20 years ago for me, but right. So,
You know,
right.
like no, man, at all. Like you gotta bring him back. You have to. And Moose brings up, going back to the quarterback, Moose brings up a point. That's why we need Chambliss in the draft. Yeah, we do, like, to reset this quarterback class. Because I'm looking at Fox Sports QB rankings right now,
Uh-huh.
and they have Fernando ranked 1 and going first round. They have Ty Simpson ranked as the second, going top 50.
50.
And then Drew Aller as number 3 going day 3. With Garrett Nussmeier 4. So you're telling me that we're basically going to see almost 2 full rounds of football drafts and only 2 quarterbacks selected.
Yeah. When was the last time that happened?
That's crazy.
Right. But you see, I think Nuss is going higher. He had a really good Senior Bowl week.
I
And
think
go
I
ahead.
think Nuss is going higher too.
Yeah. You and I were joking somewhere, either it was on the Twitter machine or back and forth. And I love the Pro Football Network free mock draft that you just play. And he's always like around the 130s or whatever. And the Saints have what, 136, and I don't have it in front of me, but like 136 and 130, there's like 5 spots in the 130s that they have one and then the other. And I'm like, and I think it must have been on Twitter, but you and I were going back and forth, and it's like the Saints draft and Nussmeier at 135, whatever their pick is like the most Saints thing ever. But I think that conversation, AP, was before the Senior Bowl week. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I've seen something. I couldn't tell you who it was, but he was mocked to the Jets in the second round.
That wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't. Okay. I would be happy for Nuss.
Right.
But I'd be so mad because I don't want to see Nuss suffer through what he just went through the end of the Brian Kelly era. You're going to usher him off to the Jets, to the quarterback graveyard?
Yeah.
Oh, you talk about...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to flip it on you. You said you want to see Mickey Loomis be aggressive and go up to number 5 and grab Reese. What if he traded down? Like, what if you grab 2 or 3 extra top 100 picks? Because
I'm mad at it. I think that's the best option to do.
Because there's so many holes and a lack of quality depth, throughout this roster. So I always find myself, when I play that stupid, that mock simulation, I'm always trying to trade down for the most number of top 100 picks I can get. Like if somebody's offering me 1, but somebody's offering me 2, I'm going with the 2. To go that, because you can get shit ton of quality guys that way and fill that roster.
Ratatat brings up something in the chat I'm gonna get to in a second, but I that's what I truly hope for. So that's my real, like, that's my goal. That's my dream. My pipe dream is to just get Arbo Reese. My dream, like my wishful, like, please God, let them be smart, is trade out of 8.
Yes.
Get the pick 15. Stay in the top 20. Pick up 2 more later round picks.
Right.
And fill out, really flush out your roster and have fun.
Yeah.
But I got breaking news for you.
Uh-oh.
Mickey Loomis never trade down.
Ever.
I don't know if you knew this.
In a quarter of a century of drafting.
0 times.
Right.
Mickey Loomis has traded down.
Yeah.
And he's even talked about trading down as if it's like the plague. You think that trading down would give him coronavirus. It's absolutely disgusting how he doesn't trade down.
Right.
So, but Ratatat brings this up, and I want to ask you this. If Tate, Lemon, Love, Bain gone at 8, who we going? Who you going with? If Tate and Lemon are gone at 8, who you going with? Are you going Jeremiah Love? You going Reuben Bain? Who is your draft selection if the 2 leading wide receivers are gone?
Do you like Bailey from Texas Tech? Caleb Downs? Caleb Downs would be deadly. I don't know the answer to that. If it's not a wide receiver and Love is there, do you just pull the plug on Love?
You kind of have to take Love at that point.
Right.
And flush out your draft from there.
Right. So if 2-1, all right, if Tate's there at 8,
I say we pass.
Right. So you either go defense or you bite the bullet and take Love.
Right.
Because Tate essentially is
Olave. Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Like if Lemon and Tyson, and I feel like Lemon has a lot of Chris Olave in him too.
Mm-hmm.
But if Lemon and Tyson are gone, and it's Tate, I'm chose with the options of Tate and Jordan Love. I'm passing on Tate. I don't want Carnell Tate on this roster. And I know, look, I don't know if you heard this, but he's come out and he's actually said he would want to play with Tyler Shuck.
Right. Well, he said the same thing about Carr when Carr was here.
I don't care who he won't play with. I don't want him here. And look, guy, you are a great wide receiver, but we have you already. His name is Chris Olave.
Right.
Like, please, it is no slight against you, sir. Ohio State receivers have done us fantastically in the past.
Yeah.
We don't need 2 of you on the same team.
Right.
We need need a different guy, a bigger body. We need somebody who can go over the middle and do some different things. So,
all right, so let me circle back. One of the first things I was teasing you about the draft. Mm-hmm. If it's Love or they go offensive tackle and they push Taliesin inside at guard, who do you want? You want the offensive tackle for the next 10 years or you want Love?
Give me Love.
Really?
I'm tired of playing this musical chairs game with our offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mickey would step up.
You drafted Trevor Penning to play left tackle, which was a whiff. Then you move him to right tackle. And then you draft Taliesin to play left tackle.
Right.
And then Trevor Penning whiffed again. And then you draft Kelvin Banks to play left tackle. And then you move Taliesin to right tackle. And then you move Trevor Penning to left guard. And then in the season, you move Trevor Penning off the roster, which you should have done at the beginning anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying, let's draft another offensive tackle and do this again for the 4th consecutive year.
Right?
Like, think about that.
Well, yeah, but now we got it right. Now, I remember when Cesar Ruiz was picked.
Oh, Cesar Salad? I do too. That was the dumbest.
But you see, I would listen back when the Athletic was good, right? And now the paywall, and it's not what it used to be. But back then, what draft was that? 2020?
2020.
Yeah. He was a first round draft talent. But
you didn't need him. He was also a center.
Right. Well, then so was McCoy. Wasn't he? Or was he a guard at A&M?
No, Eric McCoy was a center, and he had a first round grade.
Right.
But he slipped to the second round because you didn't have a first round pick, and you needed a center.
Right.
But you didn't need a center.
Right.
And you know what's funny? Since Cesar Ruiz has been in the league, he's never snapped a ball. He was an elite center at Michigan. You drafted him and kicked him to guard, and he's garbage.
Right.
He is legitimately a tossed salad. He gets tossed around.
Right.
Like, I see why they call him Caesar.
All right. Who's replacing Jari Evans as the assistant offensive line coach?
I don't care.
We
got Kellen Moore. We got Kellen
on
Moore.
Fire late at night. AP timeouts and tangents.
I don't care. I don't care about all. Okay. Look, and no slight to Jari Evans. I was so glad that they kept him. That they left him over on the staff. I think that him, the the voice, the person that he is, the ambassador for the Saints that
Sure.
he is, being one of those late round draft picks who manifested into one of the greatest offensive lines to ever grace the sidelines in New Orleans,
Right.
and a potential Hall of Famer within himself.
Sure.
It was perfect. And I think I'm so grateful that he wanted to come back to New Orleans to start his coaching career. And now that he's moving on to Pittsburgh, fantastic. But who's losing sleep over the offensive assistant line, the assistant offensive line?
Okay, fair enough. Only, and I brought it up because obviously they need to address it. We're going to get into free agency. What your thoughts are on that in just a second. But you mentioned Evans going over to Pittsburgh, a lateral move, right?
Yeah.
That the Saints could have blocked, but props to them that they didn't. But the quarterback coach didn't go over. Did he interviewed there?
Yeah, they interviewed a couple of your offensive staff members interviewed. You were able to retain them all outside of Dari Evans, like
Right.
whole
So
staff.
Hazlitt stayed. Tolzien, if that's
And
how you say the
Scott
quarterback.
Tolzien.
Yeah.
Scott
Right.
Tolzien
But I mean,
stayed.
Nick Underhill with New Orleans football was like, wow, like speaks volumes.
It does. It says a lot.
Right.
Like one, what that shows me is that these coaches, one, they get along. I mean, they've been with Kellen Moore now for multiple years. Two, they believe in where this thing is going, and they kind of want to see it through.
Right.
Which once again gives me that excitement for next season. That's
but only next season.
Right. That's why I'm giving them grace. I'm not giving them credit until I see how next season plays out.
Okay.
Because what you did to finish the season off last year was honestly pretty impeccable. I mean, the over/under on the win total was 5.5, and you beat that. So, and look, David said, hope is a hell of a drug.
Right.
Hey, brother, Louisiana is full of hope right now, man.
Absolutely.
Like, I even have hope that the Pelicans won't. I'm gonna just stop right there. Like I'm rubbing off some residual hope on the Pelicans,
right?
Like just for the fun of it. Like maybe, just maybe, they will turn on the TV and actually play basketball one day. You could just hope. Won't necessarily be good at it, but yeah, whatever. So
the end of the Stephen King novel made movie with Shawshank Redemption with Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. And I think it ends on that. Like, I hope to see my friend again. I hope, right? I hope's a powerful drug, man. Yeah.
So I am excited because you went through the lazy hire in Dennis Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody brought that up in the chat earlier. You drug your feet on keeping the offense the same for so long.
Mm-hmm.
When Dennis finally decided to make a decision and change things, it was too late because the cap was already blown and you couldn't get the pieces that Clint Kubiak really needed to get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see now, with the success that he's had in Seattle,
right,
he was a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, those first two games, until Derek Carr did that dance in the end zone at the Cowboys. Evans at that moment in time, crash and burn. AP.
Who would have thought that we'd be sitting here on February 4th, 2026, and the realization comes upon me that Sam Darnold was a better quarterback than Derek Carr.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But guess what? You got hope because you got rid of Dennis Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr retired. Thank you, New York Giants, for doing us a big one and him hurting his arm.
But do you think he's coming back?
I don't care.
The Saints have his rights.
Yes, I don't.
So can we trade him for a third to
a third? You think we're gonna get a third round pick for Derek Carr?
We have his rights. He's a starting quarterback. Kubiak had him. He could start at Vegas and let Fernando learn like Shuck did.
I don't think Clint Kubiak would go to Vegas just to trade for Derek Carr.
Well, they have a ton of cap space as well. You got the first choice. You got the first round. You got the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So you have your guy of the future. So let's Derek Carr be your guy.
Fernando Mendoza the trailer. So you got you use all that draft capital to go build out your offensive line, lean on the running back that you drafted early in the first round last year.
I like him.
Run. Look, you got Ashton Genty, you got Brock Bowers. Right. You got Max Crosby on defense. They have some pieces. Can the front office just get out of the way? You know, like get out of the way and let the team do what they need to do. And Tom Brady said, Jimu said Tom Brady not taking an ambulance. And
all right.
Absolutely right.
All right. Let's talk free agency.
All
right. So, I mean, the free agency is going to start before the draft.
Right.
So, what if they sign one of the running backs? What if they address the offensive guard? Well, I mean, they got to address the offensive line somehow, some way. If you get a guard in free agency, that kind of frees you up. If you get a running back in free agency, then you're wide open at 8. Because you don't need to go Love.
The Saints right now are in a position to where no offseason move can really do them wrong because they have so many holes to fill.
Right.
So you can't just lock in and say, yeah, we're going to just hone in on our linebacking group. We're going to just focus in on our DB room. We're just going to focus. We need to just build out our offensive line. Well, guess what? You probably need to sign a free agent and draft a free agent at every single position group on the team. Right. Just for depth and competition purposes. So if you are able to get what you feel is a starting caliber level of a player in free agency, great. That means that position group can wait to the later rounds, or you find somebody as a UDFA. But it doesn't mean that you're not bringing in a rookie.
Right.
So if I'm the Saints, who am I looking at in free agency, or what position group I'm looking at?
What position?
Well, wide receivers don't hit the market. Not top name wide receivers. George Pickens is probably going to go back to Dallas. There talks up in the air that we could potentially trade for Keon Coleman. I can see that, but I wouldn't want that. I'd rather just take a rookie. You know, I like what this receiving group in the draft looks like. I definitely want them to address offensive line. I'd rather have a free agent with some experience come in that can push Cesar Ruiz out the door, and then you go get another guard as well, because even if Cesar does stay on as a starter, you shore up one of your guard positions from free agency and you bring in another young rookie guard to come in, and once Cesar goes down with an injury, you have a backup.
Right.
And who can essentially kick Cesar Ruiz out.
Right.
So I definitely want to see that. And you need to go get a corner at some point.
All right. Is Alante coming back?
No.
He's going to get paid.
Yeah, he's about to get broke off.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's about to get broke off. Can we pay someone? Jimu says, can we pay someone in to just take Ruiz? Like, I hope so. I wish we could pay somebody to just take Ruiz off of us. How about we give them Ruiz in a pot of gumbo in a sack of crawfish.
I don't know where I saw the article, but it's Kubiak at Vegas because of his connection to the Saints. They need a right guard. Vegas does. It was Ruiz. It was Foster Moreau. There was 5 of them. That like which Saints would be good fits over there with what Vegas needs and what. But Ruiz was one. Not Taysom, but Foster Moreau was another. I can't think of the other ones, but yeah. But yeah, no, it's Kubiak because it's the easy thing to do. It's like, oh, well, he was there. Just like, and look, I totally get what you're saying about the running back at 8 with Love, but that's the easiest thing to mock to the Saints. Well, AK's, coming off a 6-game injury at the end of the year. He's older, boom, boom, boom. And G Moose is throwing in crawfish and gumbo.
I got you on the potatoes, the sausage. I got my partner knows how to boil some turkey necks real good. We could
Okay.
do some of that too. So
Right.
we gotta get them up out of here.
Yeah. Totally.
So
So shore up in free agency, but you still that can't necessarily eliminate your need to draft at that same position in the draft.
it shouldn't. And if anything, it should free you up to be able to take the best available with every selection that you have.
Right.
You don't want I don't want the Saints to have to go into this draft feeling that we have to get this or we have to have that.
Right.
Because you have to have an entire team.
Right. Well, like to your point earlier, AP, the last 4 years or the last 3 years drafting offensive tackles.
Right.
Penning and Banks and Taliesin.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm tired. I'm so tired of this offensive line. I'm tired, boss. I'm so tired of
That's a Stephen King great movie as well, The Green Mile.
Yes.
Great movie.
I'm so tired of drafting offensive linemen in the first round.
But there's a lot of good guys. Look how many had a great week in the Senior Bowl. There's a lot of good guys to be had second, third round that you could plug in. And like you said, maybe one of those backs up Ruiz to start the season. Maybe you get a left guard in free agency. You have Ruiz. He goes down week 4. The young guy steps in. Boom. There you go.
Right. And I think that's perfect I think that's a perfect scenario. And to answer your question, Moose, yes, Chase Young is coming back. We signed him last year, his extension,
right?
To a 3-year deal. Yeah. So he got paid and then balled out.
He overperformed that contract.
We actually got the better end of the deal.
Yeah, 100%.
So we don't have to worry like that.
And he's only 25.
Right. I mean, he's still a first round talent is flourishing within him right now. And I love to see it.
Why is this team playing for Kellen Moore? Why are they bought in?
He's a player's coach. He's meeting them where they are. And then he's a coach for this generation of player. Right. So when
he is this generation.
Exactly. So when you look at the coaching staffs around the NFL and you look at the ones who are having success. You got Mike Vrabel and the coach in Seattle, right? Mike Vrabel's an older guy, but he's still a player coach.
He's a freaking player, right? He
was a player. Like you don't have these hard knock old school guys. I mean, Mike Tomlin just got blown out.
All right, but what do you think about McCarthy taking his place?
I think so. I'm going to give the Rooney family a lot of credit. I mean, you talk about 2 head coaching hires in 30 years,
right?
Like,
I'm old. I'm 20 years older than you. How many head coaches have the Steelers had in my lifetime?
Right?
Is it 4? I don't even think it's 4.
I've only seen 2 since I've been alive. Literally,
isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. So, right. I mean, if they see something in Mike McCarthy that they feel he's worthy of a shot, then I mean, give him a shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, in his time in Dallas wasn't bad. Did they win at the level that Jerry Jones wanted to win? No, because Jerry Jones gets in the way.
Right.
I don't think the Rooneys are going to do that. I think they're going to give him the space that he needs. I mean, look, Mike Tomlin never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. It's going to be tough shoes to follow for Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they mess around and go 7-9, 7-10 in the first year, they're going to feel real strange about that.
Right. Now, I will say I'm a sucker for that type of press conference that he had. He's there. He's a hometown guy. He laughing at me, AP. I'm a sentimental old fool, a hometown guy, his family's there. Like, we don't have to hide the Steelers swag anymore. Like that, it's a feel-good story.
No, look, I think it's beautiful. I mean,
okay. I thought you were laughing at me for a second.
No, I mean, it was. Look, sentimental stuff in pro sports get you fired.
Wow. Sure.
So like, it ain't no space for sentiments and emotion when millions and billions of dollars are
right.
But I think it is a good story because you don't get to see the hometown kid come back home and coach
Right.
that level of a program or an organization, and he's getting that opportunity. So I feel that the pressure is going to be a little bit harder on him because of that.
Mhm.
And this
Okay.
will be his last chance at
Sure.
being an NFL head coach.
Yeah.
This is his last go.
Right. Right.
I'm shocked that they didn't take a shot at an unknown like they did with Mike Tomlin 20 years
Mhm.
ago.
Mhm.
I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah, because what's the shelf life on McCarthy? He's like
Right.
60, early
He's
60s.
right. He's 60.
Right.
And if he's not producing at the level of Andy Reid,
Right.
what are you going to be around for? Enough for one contract?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's use the sentimental press conference segue to go from Pittsburgh to Joe Brady at Buffalo. So Joe Brady got tearful with his wife in the audience, missed the birth of his child because he
Mhm.
had a game. But I'm really surprised at Joe Brady being picked by Buffalo.
Why?
If you couldn't get over the hump with what's his face? What was McDermott? How's your offensive coordinator guy going to be the one that gets over the hump in the playoffs?
Because there's a difference when it comes to the feel of the game at that head spot.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the guys who are having success, it's not just because that they're dominant on one side of the ball. They just have a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they knew what they were getting with Sean McDermott, and it wasn't going to change. So you had to make a change at this point because your roster is not going to get any cheaper. You blew your opportunity to have a great roster with your amazing quarterback on a rookie contract.
Right.
So now you have to make the most of what you have. And you got to be a little bit more of a risk taker. You got to manage the game a little bit better. You can't blow leads the way that you have.
Your quarterback can't have the turnovers that he has in playoff games.
True. So your coaching staff will have to be more inclined to producing on the level and providing him the opportunities to where those things don't happen.
Right.
Now, let's say you don't hire Joe Brady.
Mm-hmm.
How do you salvage that fan base with the choice?
I wouldn't go McCarthy. It would. I mean, like a Vrabel. I mean, there's no other Vrabels out there right now in the market, but somebody like that type of run through a brick wall type thing.
Yeah, he's in Detroit and he's in New England.
Yes, but how does Tennessee let him go to go to New England? All right, but we talked about Jerry Jones. Would you rather Jerry Jones be your owner of your favorite NFL franchise or Gail Benson?
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry.
I'd rather Jerry.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because at least I know he's fucking trying.
Okay.
At least I know he is trying.
I'm gonna go over to baseball world. I am the worst bandwagon Yankee fan in the world because I used to live on Long Island. So at least I admit it.
Remember
right?
you telling me this.
But George Steinbrenner, Jerry Jones, the same kind of mentality. At least you knew they were trying because Hal Steinbrenner in fucking Bronx, New York, ain't trying like his dad did.
At all.
At all, man. At all.
At all. And
Kansas City has won world championships since the Yankees have.
Yep. And I was about to say, that's why they're having the level of success that they are. Right. They can't break through anymore.
Right.
Because you don't have the guy at the
top.
Judge
is in his 30s now. Right.
Like you don't have the guy at the top that can really drive the boat home.
Right.
And that gets missed. It gets overlooked a lot. Like the owner's role is very pivotal in that you can be so hands off that the car is driving itself off the cliff, like the Saints or the Cardinals. God. Or you can be so hands-on that you're running the car into the side of the road, like the Cowboys.
Right.
So you got to be able to navigate those things. Like, look at Robert Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this guy built a dynasty as an owner, blew out the coach, let the GOAT walk to
Right.
Tampa, and is right back in the Super Bowl like nothing ever happened.
Right. Like nothing. All right. We haven't talked about this. Was indeed Drew Brees going to retire at the end of 2019?
Yes.
And that he got wind that Brady was going to come and hook up with Sean, and then he cock blocked that, and he's like, "Not with my team. I'm coming back. Even though my right arm doesn't work anymore, I'm coming back."
Yes, that was the whole play. And I know, Moose, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I want to circle back to that because Harbaugh would have killed it in Buffalo too. I think that. But I forgot who was talking about Tom Brady, and it made me think of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know All Things Go is a Bucks fan.
Right.
I hate to tell you, buddy. Drew Brees had a self-centered moment, and he knew that roster was a Super Bowl winning roster.
Right.
And if Tom Brady would have came here, we would have gone back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And we still would have had Sean Payton.
Right.
And life in New Orleans would have been great.
Right.
Because, damn it, that would have been amazing.
Right.
But no. And I kind of respect Drew for that too. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if there's any one person that can make a city like look at you and be like, you know what, we love you, Drew, but we kind of love Tom too.
Yeah.
It's Tom. Would you want Tom Brady to come step in right behind you after all you've done in this city?
If my arm didn't work anymore, and I was being honest with myself in the organization, like he shouldn't have come back.
Think like a jock.
Well, you can't, because you still have it in there. You still can get another. Well, DeMario, but DeMario just had the production. Cam, and I understand what you're saying.
Drew Brees did not look like Peyton Manning.
Right. Oh, yeah, Denver.
Yeah.
Hand off.
Right. 3-yard flare and a slant.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right.
And he got benched for Paxton Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Like
crazy
Drew Brees,
shit.
And we all knew Drew was bad.
Yeah.
We all knew Drew wasn't at the level that he was accustomed to playing at.
Right.
And that had been going down for multiple years at that point. That's why they kept calling Michael Thomas slant boy, because Drew couldn't throw it. He couldn't throw it further than that.
Right.
But if you are sitting there, and I know I just threw for 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The 70% completion percentage. And I got a bump shoulder. And I know I got the coach. I know I got the roster. I just can't mess it up.
Right.
If I'm precise, we can get back to the bowl.
They beat Tampa Bay if Jared Cook doesn't fumble. All right. How funny is it that CD Deuce, who got in a fight with Slant Boy in practice, right? How funny is it that he's now back with Chicago and Dennis Allen, not with Chicago, back with DA in Chicago. After he got dealt, essentially, because he couldn't handle him.
I think that's absolutely funny. And it makes me think, like, was that a Sean Payton thing or a Dennis Allen thing? I think that was a Sean Payton
thing. You think it was Sean?
I mean, you just knocked over my $100 million wide receiver and put his hand. I can't let you do that.
Was that the same offseason? Or was that the following offseason?
That was the following offseason. That was a season that was a season when when that $20 million kicked in.
Yeah. But they traded him like right at the start of the season, like right in training camp.
After the fight happened.
Yeah. No. I thought he had gotten benched in a primetime game or for a game for the fight. No, I thought the fight was during the season.
Oh no, that fight happened during the season with Michael Thomas, but they had more altercations in the locker room.
Okay. Oh,
they had other issues going on.
All right.
But like at that point, it's like I can't let you do that.
We went to dinner. I told you that I had to start with you at 9 tonight. We went to dinner with a good friend of ours who's a client of my significant others, and she's a Georgia fan, Atlanta fan, Georgia fan, and she's talking about, and God bless her, Miss Cynthia's, an older lady, and but she's talking about Roddy White, and she's talking about Joe Horn while he was with Atlanta. And then I said, well, Joe Horn, Willie Roaf, that whole thing way back in the day.
What was the story behind that? Tell me.
Wasn't it that I was hoping you're going to fill me in a little bit more, but wasn't it that Joe Horn was banging Willie Roaf's wife?
Yeah, well, that's okay. So I wanted to make sure I was on
Right, that we were on the same
track.
page.
Yeah.
And then Willie Roaf like went home to a house, and I think they lived in Armagh Estates out in Destrehan.
Yep, they did on Destrehan.
And then like he walked in on them, the wife and Joe Horn, and then boom, and then he demanded a trade. Yeah, and he Kansas City.
Yep.
Crazy shit, right?
Bruh. This franchise has been drunk for a long time.
My significant other has a picture of she and Willie Roaf in a suite at the Dome, and I mean, love her to death, but she looks like she's, like I don't even have anything that like this thin, compared to Willie Roaf. Like she's like, I love that picture. It looks like I could fit into his blazer pocket. Like he is massively a big human being.
Look, offensive linemen in the NFL are just built different. Like I went to the last time I've actually been to Chipotle in a while, but this was when Teron Armstead was still with the Saints. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1", I'm 260 pounds, and not often do I ever get made to feel small. Well, I'm standing in line and I'm looking and I'm like, that's a football player. I just need him to turn around so I can see who he is. And when he turned around, I was like, oh, that's Teron Armstead. And I was like, hey, man, like nobody else realized it was Teron Armstead. Like everybody knows skill position players. They don't know O-linemen. Right. That's just how deep into the weeds I am. Yeah, I can recognize the offensive lineman with his helmet off. Crazy work. So I saw him. I was like, "Hey, Teron, you mind if I get a selfie with you?"
Yeah.
Like he was like, "Yeah, absolutely." He put his arm. Around me.
Right.
And I looked. I was like, "This is the worst mistake I've ever made." Yeah. And I went to adjust the camera, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, I need you to." A little bit.
AP, that's funny as shit, man.
I felt like a little kid. I'm like, hey, man. Right. Like, even in the picture, if I go back to that picture, I'm smiling all geeked up and I'm looking like a damn fanboy. And I'm like, why did I look so small at him?
Those guys are huge. Have you caught his podcast that he does?
Yeah, I do.
He's so good, man.
He's so good.
He's so good. He's so good. Absolutely love that.
He's a legit entertainer too.
Oh yeah.
He's rap. He made a good rap. I mean, a really good rap album. He even had CD Deuce on the song before.
That's funny.
Said he was friends with Willie and Rupert Tubbs. Willie was a trip. Man, I can only imagine what those stories were like.
So you mentioned being bigger guy running into Teron Armstead. In my previous life, living in England, we did a bunch of traveling pre-COVID, right? And I would wear my dad's. I've mentioned to you, you and I went to Brother Martin High School in New Orleans. My dad went to Aloysius. My grandfather went to St. Aloysius, and I have my dad's high school ring, right? When Europe, they don't wear high school rings or college rings. Like it's a novelty thing over there. So when I wore my dad's ring, I always got asked about it. Like always got asked about it because like guys over there don't do those kind of things. So we're in Portugal. My now ex-wife, my daughter, and I are at lunch, and we're finishing up. The waiter pointed at me, AP, and he pointed at my ring, and he said, "Super Bowl." And if I was 6'1", I have the weight. I don't necessarily have the height. I hope that I top out still at 5'11". But like if I was 6'2". Or 6'3", man, I would have been like, because they wouldn't have known. Because, like I said, they would not have known.
They wouldn't know.
So,
look,
that was funny.
I always told my son, I said, look, one of these days when we go out of town, I'm gonna bring your state championship ring. I'm gonna bring a championship ring. And I'm gonna put it on my pinky. I'm just gonna walk around with it, and like I'm gonna let the people in the other city, like, well, what team did you play for?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Don't worry about all that.
No questions right now.
Right. My handlers aren't here for me to take these questions at this moment.
Usually my security is here. Right.
All right. So we can take a selfie though. I'll let you take a selfie.
Right. That's funny as shit.
So I do want to ask. I do want to get your insight on this. What are your expectations, or what are you hoping to see out of the Saints in 2026?
I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid, AP. I know that you're extending grace and not giving credit. I'm more lenient with my credit giving. Like
No.
let them have it. You remember the Frankie and
Yeah,
Johnny?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
have it. Where's my cigar?
No, they got to see
Like
the special man first for me. Remember that? Everybody won't let them have it, but they always say, "Go see the special man." I'm
Right.
the special man. I'm not letting you have
Right.
anything yet.
I don't know, man. I'm just this team believes in Kellen Moore. They're playing for Kellen Moore. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, they talk about the leadership of Tyler Shuck. Maybe it's beneficial that he's an older guy, that he's, came into the league at 26, even though he was roommates with Juwan Johnson 100 years ago at Oregon. But they're right around the corner from having a shit ton of cap space available. They don't, Alante's going to walk, go get paid, more power to you, right? Pay Olave, don't hang WR1 on him, and you're perfect. If you're not looking at him in that scope, he's fantastic to have on your team. Spend your money. They do have a good front office as far as juggling the books. As far as every year you read up until this year, and then after that, like 2027, they have like $200 something million in the cap that free on the cap.
Stupid.
It's crazy. And I think you and I talked in the roundtable Friday night, like they've got to do, the NFL has to do something about putting more money in the second and third round so that these guys aren't going back for their payday. Lance Hurd left Tennessee and went to Kentucky instead of declaring for the draft. I think it's Washington, is a defensive tackle from Oregon that was anticipated to come out. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch more that I'm not aware of. Yeah. There's money, to stay. So then the NFL's got to do something with that. So the Saints have tons of cap space, around $277 million. The Saints, usually they enter the season the last 4 years, $277 million over, So you got to pay Olave. Alante walks because he's going to get paid. You don't really have anybody else you got to pay.
Everybody else you got to pay.
You got to. That's the cheat code, and that's what Mike Triplett and Nick Underhill, to give them a plug over there at New Orleans Football. The cheat code in the NFL is to have a rookie quarterback that's him
on that contract.
You
got it,
and you got it. So, I mean, if well, not to knock Olave, but if he caught that pass against Miami, the Saints after this season would have been playing for the division title because the NFC is so bad.
And that's kind of like where my expectations are going right now with 2026 is I kind of want to see them make that jump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they have to be in the playoffs, but that Atlanta game should be the last game of the season, should be a determining factor as to whether you win the division or not.
Right. And even when they were so bad, there were so many times, even under DA, they had finished up on the field. They're watching the scoreboard in the locker room because they still had a chance. Even under DA, they had those things because the NFC South is so bad.
Right. And right at that, just to get I'm not saying that they're the same type physically. They're the same style of player. Like they run smooth, crisp routes. But Carnell Tate, even at 6'3", is not a contested catcher. He's an elite route runner, and he's a physical route runner. But doing what Jeremiah Smith does, that's the kind of receiver that we need in New Orleans right now.
Right.
We need that guy who's got two bodies on him, and we can put the ball up, and he can just say, "Fuck it, I'm getting it."
Mm-hmm.
And look, I go to most of the games and stood next to Olave one time. Look, man, I completely understand. I was a season ticket holder up until 2022, and I was at every game faithfully. And when I tell you, even the Rams playoff loss, most heartbreaking event I've ever seen live publicly. I can't even open my eyes to reflect on it because that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But Olave is small,
right?
And I know they list him at like 6 feet, ish. I don't know if he's really 6 feet,
Mm-hmm.
but he's damn good. Like,
Right.
you knew Brandon Cooks was small.
Mm-hmm.
And Olave ain't making Brandon Cooks look small when they side by side.
All right. Was that an interception in Buffalo in that playoff game with Cooks? It was Cooks, and then yeah.
I'm trying. Oh, when they
Yeah.
when he fumbled it? No, when
Well,
they took it out of his
it
hand.
took us out of his hands as he's on the ground, and they're tumbling over.
I can't call that a pick.
I can't call if you can't tell me, Mr. NFL, not you, but the NFL
Yeah.
cannot tell me what the hell a catch is
Right. I
on
can't
a
call
week-to-week, game-to-game basis. How in the hell is that not only an interception, but it wasn't even reviewed? It didn't even stop the play to review it or anything, like even to give the legitimacy of yes, we got the call right. And it's just like, okay, boom, turnover. And I'm like, man.
It's right attack. Yeah, I mean, you saying that like I'm not sure it was a bam play. You're right. Like call it incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
I
tie goes to the offense.
I was about to say, like, if you're going to call it a catch, the tie goes to the offense.
Right.
Like he had possession.
Yeah.
He had possession. And Moose says I stopped watching all NFL games for about 5 years when the Rams got away with that shit. Look, I'm telling you, I have walked out of funerals that were louder than walking out of the dome that day.
Right.
I will never forget walking down Gravier towards Tulane Garage where I was parked, seeing the crows fly over the buildings in between the hospital garages, and not hearing a single come from out
right.
The entire atmosphere of New Orleans was dead.
Yeah.
The fans weren't even talking.
Right.
Because we were in shock.
Yeah.
I could not believe what we had witnessed that day. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But going back.
Go ahead. No. Oh, I was going to say, I don't mean to keep playing. Oh, I used to live in Europe card, but I was in.
That's why you're the most interesting man in the world.
We were living in the UK, and I'm sure I had a VPN that I had to watch the game on. Whatever. So the time difference and everything, I'm watching it by myself on my laptop. And then the next morning, my now ex-wife's like, all right, how'd it go? And I'm like, you just wouldn't believe. Yeah. So she didn't, kind of tune me out. She worked in London itself. She came home 3 days later after work, and she's like, the Saints really got robbed. And I'm like, no shit. Why do you think I've been kicking the dog for the last 3 days? Like, no shit. And she's like, well, I mean, the guys at work told me. I'm like, I told you Monday morning. And she's like, yeah, but like they said you really got robbed. And I'm like, yes, thank you. That these, randos, randos in the office at work in London said, oh yeah, sucks to be your husband, as a Saints fan, but too funny.
Yeah. Rat-a-tat that says, my son cried for 2 days. I didn't make him go to school the next day. I mean, how could you? Right. I didn't go to work the next day. I'm telling you, it was a sad day. Yeah, Jimu said, yeah, that was brutal. Had me sick. I couldn't watch anymore. I'm not gonna say I couldn't watch. I looked at the NFL completely different after that.
Right. Who had just built a brand new stadium?
LA. Yeah.
Always follow the money. We started 2 hours ago. This has been fantastic. I'm not cutting you. You're the boss. You run this show. But it's been effortless. But 2 hours ago, we were talking about this. Always follow the money. Dollars.
I think it's a perfect way for us to close out.
And I wasn't I can keep going, man. This is fantastic.
I mean, look, I am having an absolute blast.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's effortless talking with you. Thoroughly appreciate it.
My wife wakes up at 4:30 in the morning every morning. So that's why, I never stop grinding. That's why I get up and make the content that I make when I make it. I'm fortunate for it. But this was absolutely fun. And to give y'all a little bit of a teaser, myself and Steve are putting together a little draft watch party.
Yes.
So I want you guys to make sure y'all are subscribed and following us on every platform possible.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in contact with us because we're putting together this live stream. Hopefully we can get the rest of the go team on. and make it a community thing because we need the interactions within the chat.
Right.
We want you guys to I'm starting to tag all my streams with grab a cup, grab a glass, grab a bottle. Whatever it is, you can get in the seat and be comfortable.
Right. I was going to ask you, I've been bouncing around in my chair all night. You haven't moved. You got a much more comfortable chair than I do.
No, I have a bad back.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
okay. That's why.
Yeah, like I try to lock, so I'll subtly move, and then you'll see me swing the chair.
Oh,
So my back is like completely messed up. I got into a car accident with an 18-wheeler a couple months ago.
Oh my goodness!
Screwed my back up, and then no, that happened in September, and then 3 weeks ago now, a lady hit me head on at a stop sign.
Holy shit!
No, I was at a dead stop.
Yeah, but you live in Orleans Parish. You're in New Orleans.
That happened in Thibodeau.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I love my state. I love my people.
Yeah,
We're the worst drivers in the world.
Worst drivers, man.
We are the worst drivers.
And look, I used to own a trucking company, man. I get you.
We don't deserve good streets.
We don't have good streets.
We wouldn't use them right anyway.
No, indeed, man. No,
seriously, guys, subscribe to the channel. Come follow us on Twitter.
Right.
And this won't be the last time that y'all are seeing us collaborate. And we're planning on doing another show with y'all. I know the Super Bowl is Sunday. So what are we streaming Sunday? What are we doing Sunday?
I'm watching parades, man. I'm gonna be on St. Charles Avenue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Now, I'm not in a parade Sunday, but I haven't even talked to Daniel about what they're doing Sunday. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a Super Bowl. And actually, with the AFC game, or was it I didn't want the Rams to go, and I did not want Sean to go with Denver. No. But then I was like, I don't really give a shit because I'm probably not going to watch most of the game anyway because we're going to the parades on St. Charles on Sunday.
So funny story. My wife, like growing up, was never like a real like football fan. But once our son started playing football, then she started like slowly going like all in. This year she's like dove headed. Now she's a Steelers fan because the Saints sucked when she was growing up. The Steelers were good, so she was a Steelers fan. It kind of just carried over, but she still cheers for the Saints. So for the playoffs, I started doing something. I was like making her randomly pick games. I was like, all right, I want you to pick this game. Who you think is going to win? Tell me who you think is going to win. And she's like, all right, well, give me a little bit of information about this team. Because now she can actually like point out players and positions and their roles. And she knows penalties when they happen, when the flag is like pass interference or they missed that hold. That's a false start. Or she can actually call these things out. She's a good football fan.
Yeah.
So at the start of the playoffs, I was like, all right, here are the teams that are in the playoffs. Who's going to the Super Bowl? And she said, well, I'm a Steelers fan. Steelers in the playoffs. Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. I was like, all right, great. That was stupid, but cool. Now I know the Steelers are not making it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Who's the team in the NFC? She was like, all right, Seattle's number 1 seed. They got a good defense.
Ooh.
Seattle.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good pick. I said, all right, I need a backup pick for the Steelers then.
Sure.
I said, you know what? I'm not even going to do that to you. You want to go with the Steelers? When they get eliminated, then you can pick your team.
Right.
They're not getting eliminated. All right, cool. Whatever. So once the playoffs, like the day of the games, I made her pick the game. Like what team was she going to – she only missed out twice.
Really?
And once the Patriots won the first game, she picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Nice.
So my wife, Ann, has been on a literal heater.
Yeah. Does she like racehorses?
Right, literally.
Take it to the track.
She's been on a legit heater, and she picked the Seahawks to win before the Patriots before they even won the game against the Rams the other night. So the Seahawks are going to win. They're going to win the Super Bowl. That's it. I don't even need to pick anything else. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm rocking with my wife.
Yeah. All right, but who does she like in the bowl?
The Seahawks. That's what I'm saying. She picked the Seahawks to win.
Okay.
She even wants to throw a little mini theme party.
Nice.
So, and I told her, I said, if the Seahawks win, I'm going to get a Seahawks t-shirt. I'm going to rep for you. I'm going to rep it out for you. So we going and look, Rat-a-tat that said, I'm watching the Super Bowl, laying 4.5, go Shaheed. I don't disagree with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
That
would you bring Shaheed back to the Saints?
I mean, that's emotional heartstrings.
Uh-huh.
You know, like
right.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's a business.
Dude is electric,
right?
Like, I mean, from a return specialist, like
exactly.
Yes, I'd bring him back.
Okay,
yes.
Let's get the gang back together.
We can't because they re-signed him, but
they've re-signed him already.
Oh God, yeah. As soon as they traded him.
No. I thought he was still going to be a free agent.
I thought they got that deal done.
I don't know. We'll have to research that.
I will look that up when we get off.
Okay.
Right. Thank you guys, all of y'all. Seriously, thank y'all all
Absolutely.
for coming and hanging out with us. It's been a fantastic stream.
Right.
We almost hit over 100 live viewers total.
Oh, awesome.
Between Twitter and YouTube.
Okay.
So thank y'all for that. That's you. That's all y'all for tuning in with us. I cannot thank y'all enough. And like I said, this is not going to be the end. So go hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. Thanks, Dave. I really do appreciate it, man. And hey, y'all stream earlier was rolling. Y'all did a damn good job, man. I really do appreciate it. I can't wait till the next one that y'all put out. But other than that,
AP, thoroughly appreciate you having me, man. This is fantastic. Very excited for you, man. And look, that opening, man.
Well, I got a little outro too. Check it out.
Of course you do.